Hey, hope your Friday has been everything you hoped it would be. And if not, only a couple more hours left in the day. Then you got Saturday to look forward to. So there you go. Today, the big show, big topic, drugs and alcohol. Here's the question to you. Is there a difference between having a glass of wine and snorting a line of cocaine? Now, most parents are not going to disagree with the fact that these two are worlds apart. Not really the issue, right? Because we're talking about the kids. For someone who's never tried drugs or alcohol, you get lumped into one category. So that making the jump from having a glass of wine or a beer to smoking a joint or snorting a line of cocaine, those are all pretty small steps in the mind of somebody who's never tried drugs or alcohol before. So that's why it's the issue. How to bring them both out here. Be able to, got to bring the visual to it. So here's what I have to share with you. First, a couple of statistics. Got to throw in the stats. Every day, kids 12 to 16, over 11,000 are kids trying a little alcohol for the first time. About half as many smoking marijuana, a quarter cocaine, and then heroin at the top of the list. So that's scary. That's scary stuff. That's a lot of kids. And those are kids that are right around the middle school years. Seems like earlier than that, we can keep a pretty close eye on them. So when is it happening? That's getting us into how can you be proactive about helping your kids make choices that are going to keep them safe, keep them healthy. That for me is the bottom line. Giving them the information that allows them to make choices that are going to keep them safe, keep them healthy. I think also on that same level, confidence, right? Ideally, your child has the self-confidence when he's with a group of friends to be able to say, that's a choice I'm not going to make. So how does that happen? Proactive strategy number one, got to role play. Role play, role play, role play. Right? Until your child can play both roles and do it like that. What are you going to role play? Situations where drugs and alcohol are involved. How's your child going to respond to that when the best friends are saying, hey, come on, you can have a drink. What are you doing? Why don't you just be, hanging out with the rest of us? We're all doing it. How are you going to respond to that? Right? Easier to be able to say to the stranger who walks up on the street, hey, do you want to, you want some pot? You want some marijuana? That's an easy one. Kids get that in school, the say no to drugs thing. Let's talk about something, though, that's a little bit more real, something that's going to happen more and more often as kids get older, the social setting. Deal with that, role play that with them a lot. Okay? Number two, got to know where these kids are and who they're with. A lot of the drugs and alcohol that's happening for kids in middle school is not happening during the school day, you hope. Right? It's the after school hours when they're over at a buddy's house and you don't necessarily know what's going on. So know where they are, know who they're with, make the call, follow up. They need to know that you know where they are and who they're with and that you're going to call them on it when they're not. Okay? Which leads me to number three. What are the consequences? Not only what are the consequences of drugs and alcohol for your body, but what are the consequences if they were to make the choice to use either one and you find out? Okay? What is it? Is it something that's immediate? That's what I'm pushing for. Is it that they lose the privileges? Is it that you sit down with them and do some more role play? Is it that you start seeking out the counseling right then and there? You need to decide for yourself, what are those consequences? But be ready the moment that you find out if that circumstance ever does arise. So we've got three things here, the role play that I'm just going to pump more and more. Definitely knowing where and when those things are happening in the after school hours. Got to hold them accountable to being at a place where they tell you they're going to be. And finally, what are the consequences in being able to be there to enforce those should they make choices that are not healthy and not safe. All right, enough of that. I want to leave you. Friday's kind of becoming Fortune Cookie Friday as well as the Big Show Friday. I love this. It's kind of like a mystery. How often does that happen? Two fortunes in the same cookie? Get out of here. All right. A financial investment will yield returns beyond your hopes. Now we're all hoping for that. Let's move on to number two. You never hesitate to tackle the most difficult problems. How appropriate is that for today's topic? Enough said. All right. Have a wonderful weekend. I will talk to you next week. Take care.